The seventh question mentioned is the sale of surplus farm products. When the farmers are engaged in agriculture, it is obvious that they won't retain the surplus product with themselves. That is, if agriculture is the prime activity, what would the farmers do with the surplus production? Now, in contrast, we can recall the barter system which was prevalent long time ago, in which at that time there was no point of circulation of money. Barter system, in short, it refers to the exchange of goods when money was not in circulation. It was an evolving time of civilizations when people would have not thought of money as a medium of exchange for carrying out transaction purposes. Whatever was produced, it was catered to the needs of the farmers only. That is, here we are talking of the barter system. So it is not relevant in this topic, but for our comparative understanding, now in barter system, whatever was produced, it catered to the needs of the farmers only. They used to exchange surplus product with other goods required for their own consumption. This was what in a nutshell we mean by the barter system. This is so because barter system operated in that period when there was no role of money. That is, production in barter system was only for the subsistence level, and farmers never thought of supplying the surplus production or even carrying out the surplus farm activity to earn money. Now, in the contrary sense, in the context of the present scenario, farmers keep only a substantial share for their own family needs. Rest of the produce, it is sold in the market to earn money. So here we can write, in present scenario, we have seen the surplus production, and nowadays this is the prime motive to be engaged in the primary activity. Government also take due concern that productivity of land is very high. By using same inputs, we can get a larger amount of output to cater to the larger needs of the population. So you might have seen in your day-to-day life also bullock carts streaming into the markets, each carrying loads of wheat and similar other products. The traders at the market, they buy the wheat and sell it further to shopkeepers in the towns and cities. A part of the earnings which the farmers earn in this trading is saved and kept for buying capital for the next season. So if there is a surplus production, I can write here that if there is surplus production, farmers sell the surplus production in market, and it is sold in market to earn profit. As many a times there are losses also, but in this case we are seeing it in positive sense only, that farmers, they carry out agriculture activity to have surplus production. This surplus produce, it is sold in the market to earn profit, and a part of the earnings which the farmers earn in this trading is saved. So I can write here that the part of the earning is saved, and this saved money, it is used to buy capital for the next season. Thus the farmers are able to arrange for the capital for farming from their own saving. This part of earning, it is used for buying capital for the next season. This is what generally happens in any type of economy. Here we are specifically referring here to Palampur, a hypothetical village. But this is what it generally happens in any type of economy, whether it is agriculture or industrial, because some amount of primary activity it is carried out in each and every economy, which provides the base for other sectors, that is secondary and tertiary. Now another point which we are referring here is the non-farm activities in Palampur. Now agriculture, it pertains to the farm activity. So in this subheading, the non-farm activities in Palampur, here we are referring to what are the other types of occupation which provides earning to people in general in an economy, because agriculture cannot be the only occupation catering to the needs of people. For example, we can refer here to dairy. Dairy pertains to rearing of animals for milk and related products. How it turns to be an economic activity for various people at various stages, this we can understand in the following way. For example, I can write here a person A, or A refers to a group of people who feed their buffaloes on various kinds of grass and the jowar and bajra that grows during the rainy season. So I can write here people who feed their buffaloes on various kind of grass and jowar and bajra that grows during the rainy season. and the milk collected is then sold in the nearby village. Now B refers to another group of people who set up collection chilling centers from where the milk is transported to faraway towns and cities. So I can write here B category of people who set up collection. B refers to set of people who set up collection chilling plants from where the milk is transported to faraway towns and cities. So this is our daily activity. It also provides occupation and thus a source of living to many group of people in any country. Here we are referring to PALAMPUR. Another non-farm activity, it could be the small scale manufacturing. In rural areas, small towns and cities, manufacturing involves very simple production methods and are done on a small scale. Here we are referring to small scale manufacturing. It is different from the large scale industries which are visible in the urban areas, because Indian economy, it is more of a rural economy and an agriculture economy. So first we are referring to the town center where we have the small scale manufacturing plants. So in rural areas, small towns and cities, manufacturing, it involves very simple production methods and are done on a small scale. They are carried out mostly at home or in the fields with the help of family labor. Why here we are saying that it is done mostly on a small scale and it is carried at home or in the fields with the help of family labor? Because it is a very common phenomenon of rural areas. We have seen whole of the family it is involved in some type of employment. Mostly it is of course a primary employment, be it agriculture or a small scale industries, for example, or we can see another type of example like bead making industry. Most of the women are involved. So this is a very common picture of rural area where whole of the family labor it is engaged in the task rather than students being going to the school. That is not very common in school areas, so we have the right to education, but then too we are seeing students going to school in the morning and in the daytime they have their parents in any type of occupation, for example whatever be the household occupation. Third type of non-farm activities referring to PALAMPUR, we can write here the shopkeepers of PALAMPUR. These include shopkeepers owning small general stores in the village, selling a wide range of items like rice, wheat, sugar, tea, oil, biscuits, cloth, etc. You can add your own example also, but this is also a common thing which we can observe in our neighborhood also, that prime agriculture is not the only activity. We have other type of activities, for example dairy, small scale manufacturing, shopkeepers. Another type of activity or another type of non-farm activity, we can write transport, which is a fast developing sector. I can write here transport, which is a fast developing sector. When we classify the economic activities on sector basis into when we classify the economic activities on the basis of sector into primary, secondary and tertiary, transport is the activity which we include in the tertiary sector. The reason for including transport in tertiary sector is it provides some type of link between primary and secondary. Primary sector, we know that it is generally pertaining to agriculture and related activities. And secondary sector, it pertains to industries. So for example, if you take the example of wheat being processed in industries, then when wheat is collected from the farms, it has to be transported to the industries. So transport provides a link between the primary activities and the secondary activities. That is why it is a tertiary activity. So imagine a village in a town or any city. The transport vehicles, they range from bullock carts, rickshaws, tongas, jeep and ranging to even truck. The people driving these vehicles ferry people and goods from one place to another and in return get paid for it. So that means people earn from this type of occupation also. The number of people involved in transport has grown over the last several years. So these are just some of the examples of now non-farm activities in PALAMPUR besides the agriculture, which is a farm activity. So for the students, in a nutshell, what we have studied in this chapter, so economics is first time introduced in class 9th. In summary, we can say that farming, it is a main production activity in the village. Over the years, there have been important changes in the way farming is practiced because we have specifically studied the concept of green revolution. These have allowed the farmers to produce more crops from the same amount of land. This is an important achievement since land is fixed and scarce. But in raising production, a great deal of pressure has been put on land and other natural resources. In this context, we have studied the negative impact of green revolution, which has been given up, or some of the practices of the green revolution, they have been changed regarding the environmental concern. For example, now we have more stress on organic farming. The new ways of farm, labor being the most abundant factors of production, it would be ideal if new ways of farming use much more labor. In this chapter, we have also studied the factors of production: land, labor, capital, capital pertaining human capital, physical capital, working capital. These are the topics we have covered in this chapter. We have also studied the non-farm production activities in the village. Unlike farming, non-farm activities, they require little land. People with some amount of capital can set up non-farm activities. How does one obtain this capital? This question has also been covered in the lecture. One can either use his own savings, but more often has to take a loan. It is important that loan be available at a low rate of interest so that even people without savings can start some non-farm activity. Another thing which is essential for expansion of non-farm activities is to have markets where the goods and services produced can be sold. In PALAMPUR, we saw the neighboring villages, towns and cities. They provide the market for milk, jaggery, wheat, etc. As more villages get connected to towns and cities through good roads, transport and telephone, it is possible that opportunities for non-farm activities in the village would increase in the coming years. For example, in the present context, we have the IT industry also, telecommunications. IT industry, it is more prominent in urban areas as compared to the rural areas. Where the sector is not developed in the rural areas, then one very obvious reason is lack of literacy.